Real estate license exams for dummies. Part 2. So you want to sell real estate, the job and basic laws. Chapter 4. Understanding agency laws. Review questions and answers. Who you represent and your obligations are essential to your work as an agent. The state test writers want to make sure you understand all of this. Expect a fair number of questions on your materials for both the broker and salesperson exams. The salesperson exam likely will ask more definition type of questions, and the broker exam will expect more understanding and the ability to apply the law to a short case study. One other thing, you may want to reread this chapter after you've completed the rest of this book. Agency is often taught near the beginning of a pre-licensed course, and as you can see, it appears early in this book. You need to know something about agency as you go through the rest of the material. However, it's been my experience as an instructor that studies often have more questions in agency towards the end of the course than they did at the beginning, because they have more context in which to understand the agency obligations. And I'm often to find the best students can be confused by the agency laws even as they complete their pre-licensing course. So be patient with yourself and ask a lot of questions in class. Instructors don't know what you don't know unless you ask them. Question number 1. A real estate broker generally acts as what type of agent? A universal agent. B, a general agent. C, a special agent. D, a ratified agent. Correct answer, C. Remember the fact. C, special agent. Remember the fact that as a real estate agent, you usually handle one special transaction rather than all universal or some general transactions for a client. Question number 2. To whom does an agent always owe her fiduciary responsibility? A, the buyer. B, the seller. C, the customer. D, the principal. Correct answer, D, principal. The principal is always the one to whom you have an agency relationship, and therefore is the person to whom you owe your fiduciary responsibility. Neither the buyer nor the seller, as given situations, can be the principal. So neither buyer nor seller can be answered as always. Being the object of fiduciary responsibility in terms of customer and client, it is the client who is the principal, not the customer. Question number 3. A real estate broker takes a listing to sell someone's house. What is the relationship between the broker and the seller? A, agent principal. B, client customer. C, agent customer. D, principal principal. Correct answer, A, agent principal. Sorry folks, no fancy explanation here. The listing agency is usually a way that an agent relationship is established between a broker and a seller. The agency relationship is between an agent and a principal. Remember that the principal is also called the client. Question number 4. A broker will earn a commission on the sales of a property whether or not she has the recurring costs of the transaction under what type of listing arrangement? A, open listing. B, multiple listing. C, exclusive agency listing. D, exclusive right to sell listing. Correct answer, D, exclusive right to sell listing. Multiple listing is not really a type of listing. In the open listing and exclusive agency listing, The broker gets paid only if she finds the buyer and makes the sales happen. Question number 5. An agent representing both a client and a customer would be practicing A. Single agency, B. Dual agency, C. Exclusive agency, D. Open agency. Correct answer, B. Dual agency. Dual agency is the best answer. It can't be single agency because even though the situation may have started out that way, something that shifted the customer to the client status occurred. Exclusive agency is too vague. Although exclusive agency listings exist, it isn't often open agency because although the listings are a possibility, no such thing as an open agency exists. Question number 6. What kind of relationship exists between an agent and a principal? A. Exclusive, B. Special, C. Compensatory, or D. Fiduciary. Correct answer, D. Fiduciary. You have to remember this one. The exclusive relationship may or may not exist depending on the type of listing arrangement that is signed. Most agents in a single transaction are special agents, but you can also be a general or universal agent. No relationship called compensatory exists, although the word can confuse you because you expect to be paid for being an agent. The question needs to be read in the broadest way possible. Any agents and principals have a fiduciary relationship. Question number 7. What part of fiduciary duties require the agent to use her skills and abilities in her client's best interest? A. Obedience, B. Care, C. Disclosure, D. Confidentiality. Correct answer, B. Care. All the other choices are part of fiduciary duties. Obedience is following your client's orders. Disclosure is telling your client everything he needs to know for his benefit. Confidentiality is keeping your client's information secret. Reread Keeping the Faith, the relations between agents and principals until you can distinguish among and between the different examples of each duty. Question number 8. Accounting requires A. A monthly expense statement provided to the client, C. A conversion of funds to pay expenses, C. A commingling of funds, D. No commingling of funds. Correct answer, D. No commingling of funds. You may not see a lot of questions like this one, but I wanted to give you one anyways. It isn't a very good question in my opinion because the statement accounting requires is too vague. Don't forget that you're taking a state real estate exam. Sometimes an assumption is made in the wording of the question such that you know that you're dealing with the question in real estate context. So an accountant may think a client needs to get monthly statements of expenses, but a real estate agent wouldn't think that unless he were a property manager and had specifically agreed to the provided statement to his clients. These circumstances are, however, too narrow for a monthly statement answer to be correct. Conversion is when a client's money is used for broker's expenses, and commonly is when a broker mixes the client's money and his own money or personal money in the same account. Both are illegal. Question number 9. The seller client needs to sell his property quickly and take a job in another city. What do you do with this information? A. You tell the buyer this so the house sells quickly. B. You keep this information confidential. C. You tell the buyer only if he asks. D. You reveal this information only to the buyer's agent. Correct answer, B. You keep this information confidential. Confidential it is. Confidentiality's type of information is absolute. If the seller authorizes you to reveal the information to general interest in the property, then you can reveal it, only after explaining to the seller that he may end up with a lower price because of it. The information is personal to the seller's circumstances. Remember that the information is about the property, like a leaky roof. It may have to be revealed to the buyer. Question number 10. Which of the following type of information does not have to be disclosed to the seller client? A. The buyer's financial conditions. B. An offer that the agent feels is unacceptably low. D. The fact that the buyer owns a part interest in a sailboat with the agent. Or D. The occupation of the buyer. Correct answer, D. The occupation of the buyer. You may have found accepting this answer tough. The buyer's financial ability to go through with the deal is important information. The agent doesn't have a duty to fill out offers. All offers needs to be transmitted to the seller promptly. A partnership in a sailboat may not be close relationships, but nevertheless it's a relationship that needs to be disclosed to the seller. The buyer's job is an important piece of information only if it affects the financial ability to complete the transaction. That was the questions and answers for part 2. So you want to sell real estate, the job, and the basic laws. Chapter 4, Understanding Agency Laws. Thank you very much.